Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the morning brief. My name is Janice Malillo, your host and virtual assistant, podcast host, speaker, author, creative project manager, and sometimes business coach. Today, the topic of discussion are questions answered. I received 3 questions yesterday, and I want to thank everyone, excuse me, who sent those questions in. One came in through the Wisdom audio app and 2 others came in through email. So again, I want to thank everyone who submitted these questions. I will tell you that I am not that familiar with the Ask Me question on the Wisdom audio app, so I don't know who sent that question in. And I specifically don't know if it is for me, but I thought that I would go ahead and answer that because obviously this is kind of in my business realm. So the question was, and I think this is an excellent question, how do you manage content on social media for your business? Great question. Well, that's kind of twofold. And what I mean by that is we all know social media is to be social and share what we are passionate about. For instance, for me, being a virtual assistant, a creative project manager, and a podcast host, those are my umbrellas. And then I have different segments under that. For instance, as I often shared, I would not, for instance, post that, hey, if you need a funnel done, I can do that for you, because that's not my forte. But how I specifically manage my social media is primarily through Canva, through the content calendar, as well as I am trying out Tailwind. And sometimes I just go ahead and post directly to either Instagram or Facebook. So that's kind of how I manage my social media. For some of my clients, it would be just a little different depending on how often they want to post. But for the most part, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, very familiar with all those different platforms. So I think that that was a great question. And again, the question was, how do you manage content on social media for your business? Primarily through content calendar, through Canva. And I just want to add a little more to that. What I have the pro version of Canva. I am not sure if the content calendar is a pro feature. I don't know that off the top of my head. But what I love about it is you don't have to worry about paying for a scheduling app. And if you are thinking of handling your social media via a scheduling app, don't pay for the subscription outright. Give it a try first. Many of these automatic social media posting applications have a free version of that. Try it out first. And also what I would love to add to that as well, I've used Buffer, I've used Hootsuite. I mentioned the content calendar within Canva. Looking at Hey Orca, and I'm looking at Tailwind. Not really sure which way I'm going to go yet, but with Tailwind, I am using the free version right now. So I make my final decision at one point, because all in all, I think because I do different things in 3 different businesses, technically, with the 3 podcasts, I would just love to have everything all in one. Right now through Canva, I can't connect a lot of things, but for my business, Truly Your VA, I can. So I hope that answers your question. If you need further clarification, please don't hesitate to let me know. Second question, you mentioned that you were a personal trainer and a health coach. What's up with that? Another great question. And yes, I was. I was a certified personal trainer in my early 40s up until just about 50 years old. I actually let that certification lapse, and quite honestly, I wish that I didn't. And being a certified personal trainer came about after I had lost 132 pounds, I think it was, whatever it was a lot of weight. And I realized at a late age the connection with mind, body, and soul, and how good exercise was for you. And by the way, if you saw me right now on video, which obviously you can go to my my Truly Your VA Facebook page or my YouTube channel and see that right now I look like a hot, sweaty mess. And I still have to do my second 45-minute workout. But this is me showing up authentically myself. Back to the question at hand. I became a health coach probably about 7 years ago, just fell in love, that was another umbrella under wellness, and fell in love with nutrition, and again, how, everything associated with what we feed our bodies with and what we feed our minds with, very influential on how we, live our daily lives. Now, the first podcast that I started with my sister, Two Sisters, we share a love of wellness through fitness and nutrition and everything that happens around us. So the certified personal training and the health coach came about because I'm a very kind of nerdy geek. I want to learn more information about what I'm doing and be able to chat about it and know what I'm talking about. So that's how that came about. And that was an excellent question. So thank you. And I want to welcome my listeners on the Wisdom Audio app. Thank you so much for being here today. The other question that I received via email was, your profile says that you are an author. How did that come about? Yes, I am a published author. I have co-written 16 books. So there are obviously 16 books out there. I don't have all the names in front of me, and if anybody is interested, I would be happy to share that list with you. That came about kind of in a strange way. Well, not a strange way, but someone that I'm friends with on Facebook had mentioned something about writing an article. And obviously I love to read, I love to write. And the opportunity came for me to write this article, and I submitted it and it was published. And this other person contacted me and said, that was such a well-written article. This person was in the process of putting together an anthology. An anthology is where numerous authors get together to write a book together, and each one typically does one chapter. So that's how that came about. The first time that I became a published author was pretty amazing. I was like, oh my God, I'm a published author. And wow. Obviously I love to chat. I love to write. I love to read. So it was a very natural thing for me to do. And then it just kept going. I couldn't stop. The big question that I get was, okay, great. Yeah, you've, contributed to 16 co-author projects. I'm an Amazon International best-selling co-author. When are you going to write your own book? That is definitely in the works. I have even prepared my the cover to the book, which is, I absolutely love the color of my book. Designed it. It probably took me about 2 hours or so to design the cover to my book. Not sure when that is coming out, and this is me being raw and authentic. Definitely I've been dragging my feet, but hopefully within the next 6 months, I hope to have it done. And that means that I can make it happen. I know that I can. I know that I am dragging my feet with it. Not sure why, but the good news is it's going to be an amazing book. And I hope that it inspires others when they go to, download it on their Kindle. And of course, eventually, maybe purchase the book itself. I do love Kindle. I have a lot of books on Kindle, but I love holding a book in my hands. To me, that's just, that's my relaxation time. And I love doing that. These have been such amazing questions. And again, I want to welcome my listeners on the Wisdom Audio app. Would welcome anyone to come up on stage. I see some familiar names. Would love to chat with you. Maybe you have a question for me that you would like me to answer. I'd be happy to do that. So I had mentioned, and I always show up authentically myself, and I don't use any filters. And I like it better that way because what it goes to that old verbiage, what you see is what you get. And I don't look too good right now, but I still have to do my second 45-minute workout. Not sure if I am going to do kickboxing again. I probably won't, but I will definitely probably do either rowing or do a power walk. And being authentically real and showing up for you and what you are passionate about is really the foundation of what I do, not only in my business life, but in my personal life as well. Would love again for any of my listeners on the Wisdom Audio app to come up on stage. Do you have any questions? I see a very familiar name on here, and my question would be the ask me question on the Wisdom Audio app. Not really sure how that works. I did do the update yesterday, and I was able to, see obviously what the profile looks like with the likes, the talks, and then there was a third one there, and the name escapes me right at the moment. And that is what's happening today. Let's see. Do I have any other podcasts today? The Two Sisters podcast this evening. And guess what? It's our 500th episode. That's a lot of sisters chatting a lot. I'd be interested to know how many minutes that actually is. And I'm sure it's up there. So that's happening at about 7:30 this evening on the Two Sisters Facebook page. We go live on that. Tomorrow on the Truly Your VA podcast, 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 5:30 a.m. Australian time for my guests, the amazing Bonnie Wicks. Bonnie is a brand specialist, and I can't wait to have this conversation with her. I have been working so hard on my new branding and the colors and, getting my base templates situated. And I am about 90% there, and just really excited about that because that has been such a long time in the making. I probably have I have a folder on my desktop called color palettes, and there's probably about 50 different color palettes in there, because each time I see the colors, I'm like, oh, that's it. But then I would look at it again, upload it to Canva and do some mock posts in there. I didn't obviously post them or anything, but wanted to see what the colors would look like, how the fonts, look with the colors. And I didn't like it until one day, A couple of months ago, I was in this, I'm in this group coaching program, and I really wanted to I was putting a lot of pressure on myself to get this wrapped up, because I really wanted to just get it done, because really it's been a little over a year in the making. And for whatever reason, every now and then I go on Etsy. I happen to go on Etsy and I saw it, and right then and there, I knew that was my color palette. Now, being a virtual assistant and a creative project manager, I work with my clients a lot of times when they are, trying to narrow down their colors. And I want to be very clear, I am not a brand strategist, but I'm really good with helping people to kind of narrow it down. And I have a color pickler on my screen. So when I'm working with my clients, we go through different, color palettes, and they'll say, oh, I love that color. So what's important when you're picking out colors is the hex code. So that's able to give me the hex code. And I love that feature. The other thing that is on my computer, on my browser, and I'm honestly not really sure how I did this, but every time I open up a new window, a color palette appears. That, I use Google Workspace, I think it's called now, or Google Suite. And a color palette appears, which is why I have 50 color palettes, which I have to go through, and I think I'm just going to delete that. And, if you click on the link, it'll take you right to the color palette app. Again, not sure how I arranged that one, but it's pretty neat. And, you can obviously download the color palette and get the hex codes for it. So that is what's happening with all my color palettes. Very excited about that. My Pinterest, I have my Pinterest account up and running. Love Pinterest, love Instagram, but I think my favorite now is Pinterest. So what is your favorite mode of social media, other than, of course, audio social media? I've shared many times that, between Clubhouse and Wisdom is definitely my favorite out of the two. I think Wisdom is very user-friendly, and I've enjoyed, there's one of my listeners that's currently does an amazing broadcast on Thursdays at 11, and he's had Daya on, who is the creator of the Wisdom app. And she really, both Daryl and Daya have really shared some amazing and exciting things on what they are doing with the Wisdom app, and that's always exciting. So that's what's coming up on 11 a.m. this Thursday with Daryl, and I'm not sure who he will have on. Those are his office hours, I believe he calls it. Anyways, I would love for my listeners to come up. I have time for one guest to come up, because I do have to get that second workout in. I just love fitness. I know I'm kind of dorky with that stuff, but got to do it. And by the way, obviously, I love kickboxing. I have 4 sets of gloves. I probably have about 12.5 different wraps to choose from. I don't know. I just find it I love a HIIT type of workout where it just gets get you going, get your body flowing, gets all those good things, those good endorphins, and, just put you in an amazing mood. I'm just going to give it one other second here. I want to thank everyone so much for being here. And if you have any other questions, I would be happy to answer them. You can always send the question through the back channel. I am not sure how the Ask Me question feature works. That's something I need to find out about. Or you can email me at info@trulyyourvawithjanice.com. Or on my profile, if you hit the Truly Your VA podcast website, you can also leave me a voice message through the website or send in a written contact form. It's real easy to get a hold of me. In any event, thank you all so much for being here today. My name is Janice, the host of the Morning Brief, sometimes the Afternoon Brief. And I am a virtual assistant, creative project manager, podcast host, speaker, author, sometimes a business coach. And I love it all. Thank you all so much for being here today. And I will see you tomorrow morning, probably around the same time, 10 a.m. for the Morning Brief. Your host, Janice, signing off for now. Thank you so much. Hey, everyone, thank you so much for being here today. Showing up yourself, authentically you, is really important. There's no filters here today. And when I first started showing up live on Facebook or wherever I was showing up live on video, I thought I always had to learn, look a certain way. It's not about the look, it's about your passion. And it's about showing up authentically you. My name is Janice Malillo, the host of the Morning Brief. Again, thank you to everyone, all my listeners on the Wisdom Audio app. Remember, if you have a question, maybe you're just thinking about how do you go about hiring a VA? I would love to have that chat with you. Don't hesitate to reach out. As I said, you can email me at info@trulyyourvawithjanice, JANIS.com. Leave me a voice message on the website or fill out the contact form. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great day.